Want to sound less like a robot and more like a groove master? Tired of playing the same old beats with no spice? Stick around, because today I'm giving you 3 quick and powerful ways to take your groove from basic to intermediate level. Let's go! Hello everyone and welcome to Drum Teacher in London. If you have been playing drums for a while, maybe even for years, but you still feel like your beats are kind of meh, you're not alone. Many self-taught drummers hit a wall at some point because they lack a proper system or a structured learning path. But don't worry, I've got you covered. Today I'll show you how to make your grooves more dynamic, sophisticated and exciting, with 3 simple but very effective tricks. Trick number 1, applying dynamics to your hi-hat patterns. One of the easiest ways to make a groove sound pro is by adding dynamics to your hi-hat pattern. Right now, you might be playing every note at the same volume or even with no awareness of the volume at all, which can make your groove sound lifeless. But guess what? Just by tweaking how you hit the hi-hat, you can completely transform the feel of your beat. So most drummers at the beginning play a pop rock groove without paying much attention to the mix of the voices. However, by consciously applying dynamics to the hi-hat, we can create different textures, which will allow us to blend in with the music and sound better for each track, depending of the music genre, type of song, etc., even when playing the same exact groove. Let's play a basic groove without paying any attention to dynamics and consistency. Sounds a little non-specific and flat, lacking intention. Now let's look at option 1, accent, accent. You can also call it neck, neck. Using the thicker part of the stick, we will play on the edge of the hi-hat with the neck of the stick for a fuller, sharper sound. Think of this as speaking loudly all the time. Intense. Option 2. Use applying different pressure levels to the hi-hat controller with your left foot to make it sound more loose, long and sustained, or sharper, short. This is really interesting, as there is so much range you can achieve, widening your options and allowing you to blend in with the music at the right exact intensity required for each part. Option 3. Non-accent, non-accent, or so-called tip-tip. Play softly with the tip of the stick for a smoother, more subtle groove. This creates a more relaxed, laid-back feel, often used in softer genres like jazz or R&B. This is like whispering the entire time, but it can be useful in certain musical situations. Option 4. Accent, non-accent, or so-called neck tip. Here is where things get spicy. You need to use 2 stroke types. Downstroke, this is when you hit the hi-hat forcefully and keep the stick close to the surface after the impact. It allows you to play a strong note while preparing for a softer note right after with the same hand. Now we're gonna look at the upstroke. This is the opposite. Start from a lower position, play a little tap, and right after lift the stick so that we get ready for the next accent. This adds a sense of movement and energy to your groove, making it feel more alive and expressive. Option 5. Non-accent accent, or so-called tip neck. Reverse the order, play softly first and up a stroke. Then accent the next note, playing a down stroke. This can be tricky. Start slow and gradually build speed. Pro tip: before adding this to full grooves, practice just the hi-hat pattern for a few minutes to build muscle memory. Once comfortable, start integrating it into full drum beats. This makes your groove feel more dynamic and playful, emphasizing the offbeats. Trick number 2. Hi-hat openings for an extra groove texture. Another killer trick to enhance your grooves is using hi-hat openings. A small, well-placed hi-hat splash can take a groove from meh to wow instantly. Here is an example. Play a standard 8th note groove on closed hi-hats. Now open the hi-hat slightly on the end of beat 1 and close it on beat 2. Now open the hi-hat slightly on the end of beat 2 and close it on beat 3. You can go on and on until you have tried placing those hi-hat openings on the end of each single beat. Now, open the hi-hat slightly on the 1 and close it on the end of beat 1. Now, open the hi-hat slightly on the 2 and close it on the end of beat 2. You can go on until you have tried opening the hi-hat in every beat. So, in other words, we're gonna do all the openings first on the ends, so they are called off-beat openings, and then we're gonna be doing all the possible openings on the beat, which we call on-beat. Now let's play a disco groove by opening the hi-hat in every single end of each beat. We are going to add the kicks on 2 and 4, making it what we call a 4 on the floor groove. Think of it like seasoning your food. You can make things a little bit more spicy or a little bit more bland, depending on what's required. Using hi-hat openings are a super tasty drum enhancement. Please experiment as much as you like, opening in all the possible 8th notes in one single bar. Trick number 3. Snare drum ghost notes to complement your backbeat. And finally, let's talk about ghost notes, the secret ingredient to making your beats sound rich and groovy. But what are ghost notes? These are soft, subtle snare hits that sit between the louder backbeat notes. They fill the gaps and create a flowing, rolling groove. How to add them? Play a basic backbeat, kick on 1 and 3, snare drum on 2 and 4, hi-hats steady. Now add soft snare taps on the A of beat 2 and the A of beat 4. Now add soft snare taps on the A of beat 2 and 4, but also on the E of beat 3. This creates a rolling effect, making your drumming sound more professional and expressive. In Mayan ghost notes, like background dancers in a music video. They don't steal the show, but they make everything look cooler. Alright, that's it for today's lesson. Let's quickly recap. Use dynamics on your hi-hat patterns to change the feel of the groove. Add hi-hat openings to create texture and movement. Use ghost notes to bring depth and fluidity to your beats. Here is some homework you could do. Take one of these tips or tricks and practice it for 10 minutes a day. And then let me know how it goes in the comments. If you found this useful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more drumming tips. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss my next lesson. See you in the next one and keep grooving!